Good afternoon, Vicki. This is Vicki Alfieri. Is that correct? Did I pronounce it correctly? So, welcome to Southampton High School.
Thank you.
To our 2016 Skype session series, and I'd like to introduce Angela Hughes-Johnson, who's one of our high school counselors here. We think that this is a great opportunity not only for students and parents to get information about colleges, but also for the counselors to get up-to-date information that they can then, of course, pass on to the students. So when you're ready, you can let us know about St. John Fisher, and we'll chime in with questions or comments as appropriate, or not.
So I would just like to start. My name is Vicki Alfieri. I am one of the freshman admissions counselors at Fisher, and my territory is Long Island specifically. So any students that are interested in Fisher from Southampton are more than welcome to contact me. So all of my contact information is available on our website. You can reach out to me through email or through phone calls, but I'm more than happy to speak with any students who do have questions throughout the process. That's really what we're here for, so
right.
Reaching out is not a bad thing at all.
Right.
But just to start off, Fisher is a little bit smaller of a school, so I think that's kind of why we don't have as much recognition on Long Island right now. But it's a smaller liberal arts school. We have about 2,700 full-time undergraduate students and about 1,000 graduate students. So really having that smaller size allows for us to be a lot more personal. So you are really able to form relationships with your professors. They will know your name. They'll know who you are. I actually graduated from Fisher 2 years ago, and so now I loved it so much I'm back. And when I first started back, I had professors from freshman year coming up to me saying hi, asking how I was doing. So that's really a good feeling to know that you're remembered and to know that you're a part of the community here at Fisher. So in terms of our campus, it's a suburban campus, so it's very pretty. I do recommend coming to visit. It's about a 6-hour drive from where you are, but it's really not that bad, I promise. It's about a straight shot, so you just take 81 up for the most part. And it's very pretty, especially in the fall when I was down traveling on Long Island. It's a really nice drive. So we are suburban. We're located in Pittsburgh, New York, which is a small village that I would say is pretty similar to the towns out in the Forks. So probably what students are familiar with seeing. But we are located about 10 minutes from downtown Rochester. So Rochester is actually the 3rd largest city in New York State. Not quite as big as New York City, of course, but still we have a lot of resources for our students. So being 10 minutes from downtown, students have a lot of opportunities to do different internships in the city with different businesses. We have quite a few connections with the businesses there, so if students are interested in interning with a different company, we can get them there. And so really being close to the city is a vital resource, especially for students who are a little bit further away. It makes it really easy to get to. So if you don't want to drive, we do have an airport here. We also have a train station and a bus station, and we do offer free transportation for students before and after breaks. So if you decide that you want to come through the airport, then we can have a shuttle that will pick you up and bring you right to campus. So I think that's something that really helps with the whole getting to and from campus issue.
Right.
In regards to academics, we have over 35 different majors at the college. We also have 11 pre-professional programs. So those, for the most part, are in the pre-health professions, such as pre-dentistry, pre-medicine, pre-veterinary, but we do also have pre-engineering as well as pre-law. And then we also have pre-doctoral programs here on campus as well, in addition to 9 master's programs. So for those specific programs, we do offer students the chance to kind of go all the way through their education right here at Fisher. In terms of our more popular majors, we have quite a few that are very big, even though we are a smaller school. One of those in particular is nursing. So nursing for us is a 2+2 program. So the first 2 years, you're really focusing on all of the different nursing prerequisites as well as taking different nursing seminars. And then the 2 years after that are clinical based. So that means you'll be out in the workplace getting hands-on experience, being do offer transfers. However, I will say that most students will come in as freshmen. So if you were to be a freshman who indicates nursing as your major on the application and you get accepted into the program, then you have a guaranteed accept into that junior year clinical.
Okay.
So say we accept 100 freshmen that year, then that means the junior year that would correspond, there would be 100 seats. So for transfer students, that number would stay at 100, so you would have to count on having people drop out or switch majors or attend different schools.
Okay.
So really, I encourage students, if they're even a little bit interested in nursing, just declare nursing as your major, because as long as you meet the prerequisites, then you do have that guaranteed accept. So it's a great program. And we also have quite a high success rate with the NCLEX, which is the exam that nursing students have to take. So we actually have a 90% pass rate there for students taking it on the first try, which is again very good thing. So that's really the nursing program. Another big one for us are the sciences. So the School of Arts and Sciences does house the majority of our majors, and all of the sciences I think right now are very, very popular. So this past fall in September, so just a few months ago, we opened our brand new Integrated Sciences and Health Sciences building. So that has quite a few new labs in it. There's some specific labs too, such as a marine biology lab, so students have a chance to work with a flow tank so they can kind of see how the current affects different fish, which I think is very neat. And all of our science students will be in that building at some point. So we really felt the need to expand because we have so many students interested in the area of the sciences. And if students are interested in the pre-health professions, so I mentioned before that we do offer quite a few pre-health programs here, then typically what they would do is they would declare a science major. So typically they would major in biology or chemistry, and then they would satisfy those specific prerequisites that they need so that they would be on a pre-health track. So say that you were a pre-dentistry student and I was a regular just biology major. So the two of us would take different classes even though say we're both majoring in biology, but because you're on that pre-dentistry track, our majors would look a little bit different.
Okay.
So then with those pre-health programs, we do have a specific pre-health advisor, and she has been doing it for about 8 years now, so she's really good at what she does. But she helps make sure that students are taking all of the correct classes they need in order to then apply to graduate school, as well as helping them through the application process. So she will help them figure out which schools will be the best fit for them, which schools might be safe schools, which schools might be reach schools. So she really works with you through that whole process, which is great. And then throughout our whole science program, we do offer a lot of opportunities for students to do different kinds of research. So our biology professors, for example, each kind of have their own niche of area that they're interested in doing research in. So students can pick to do research with a certain faculty member based on their matching interests. And then if they're planning on going to graduate school after, that really looks great on their application that they've had a chance to do some kind of research at the undergraduate level.
Definitely.
So that's really the science side of things. Business is another really big one for us. We have our newer business building, which just opened about 2 years ago. There's a mock trade center in the business building. We also have a clicker that goes across with all of the daily stock prices, so students really enjoy seeing that. And we also have, high technologies there, so we have areas where students can easily do group work. A student can hook up their computer at a table, and then there's a TV screen so that everything that the student sees on their laptop will then be shown on the TV. So it makes it very easy to collaborate for group projects, which business students tend to do quite often. Within the School of Business, we do have 5 specific majors. Management is kind of the main business major, and so students that are majoring in management will take classes within all the various areas of business. So they will have some accounting classes, some marketing classes, some finance classes. So they really get a good basis in all of the different areas of business. And with our business program, we do, again, encourage students to do internships because that's really how they get out there and they get to see what it's like in the real world. So then when it's time to graduate, they've had experience with certain companies, and typically those internships do tend to lead to jobs. So for example, with our accounting program specifically, again, we have 100% job placement within 4 months of graduation, and most of that is due to the fact that a lot of our students participate in internships, so they have a connection with the company once they graduate. So that's the business school. Another big program for us would be our School of Pharmacy. So right now, pharmacy is just a graduate program. So if a student is interested in pharmacy, they would apply and they would be probably a chemistry major or major in one of the sciences. They would take all of the prerequisites for 2 years, and then after 2 years, they can apply to be in our School of Pharmacy. And then once they're in the School of Pharmacy, that takes 4 years, and then they will graduate with their PharmD degree, so their doctoral degree in pharmacy. And we actually just had an email sent out to us earlier today that said that we've had the highest rate ever of passing for our class that just graduated pharmacy school. Their passing rate on the pharmacy exam was almost 97%. So that's the highest that it's been. They're very well prepared once they graduate.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I was very excited to see that today. And then we do also have the School of Education, so that's kind of making a comeback right now. In terms of education, we do offer childhood education as well as adolescent education, and students in either of those 2 areas are required to major in special education as well. So they will have a chance to learn and get experience in a variety of different types of classrooms. So it really makes them more marketable upon graduation because they're able to teach, across the board. We do also have the opportunity for students in either of those 2 areas to add on a middle school extension. And so that doesn't add on any extra time though, which is the big key there. But for the middle school extension, it will include 5th and 6th grade with the adolescent area, or 7th and 8th grade if they're childhood education. And then I will mention too that with the adolescence education, students are required to major in a specific content area as well. So say history or biology, whatever content they're hoping to teach. And then with all of those education majors, they are required to get out in the classroom as early as sophomore year. So they will have some kind of field placement, whether it be shadowing or just getting involved in some way in the classroom, so that when it comes time to do student teaching senior year, they don't say, oh my goodness, this is not at all what I was expecting, it's not what I want to do. So, having that experience beforehand really helps solidify their choices. And then in terms of the arts and sciences, just kind of some liberal arts degrees that we have that are very popular. Sports management is one of them. So typically that's a business degree with a little bit of a sports flair to it. And Rochester is a great area for students who are interested in sports management because we have 5 different minor league sports teams in the area. So again, great opportunities for students to do internships. Psychology is another big one, and we actually offer a psychology honors program where those students get a chance to complete research at the undergraduate level, which again sets them apart from their peers that are applying to graduate school. And then I would say another really big one within the liberal arts area is criminology. So that's essentially criminal justice, just with a different name. But the director of that program actually used to work for the sheriff's office, so she has some very good connections in the area. She is able to really expose students to all of the different careers that are available through criminology. So most students will originally just think of, I want to be a cop. But there's really so much more out there, and with all of the guest speakers that she brings in, it really opens students up to all of the different possibilities. And I know that that major has grown quite a bit within the past few years. So that's really kind of our most popular majors. I mentioned that we are liberal arts, so that means that we do require students to take a variety of liberal arts classes. So that does add up to 15 classes throughout the course of your time at Fisher. And so it really encourages students to take an interest they'll have a chance to get to take some acting classes. And it really works on creating a well-rounded student. So the past president of the college, Dr. Donald Bain, said that he wanted Fisher students to be able to think critically, speak powerfully, and write effectively. So those are really three areas that we focus on within the liberal arts, because we know that those three skills are something that students are going to need no matter what they do. So really that's kind of the whole point behind the liberal arts, as well as if you do have a student that doesn't know what they want to do. It's a hard decision to make, deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life. Having that liberal arts background, they're taking classes that they need to take in order to graduate, but at the same time, they're testing out the waters and seeing, maybe, oh, I took a psychology class, I really like that, I think I want to continue to major in that. So that's something that students offer, or that the liberal arts offers students. And I will mention also that I would say when I've been visiting Long Island, many students are thrown off by the saint in our name. So we are not a Catholic school. We are actually no longer affiliated with the Catholic Church. So it can be as religious or non-religious an experience as you would like to make it. So the liberal arts is the area where if students wish to take a religion class, they can, but if they don't want to, they don't have to, and they can take something else instead. So I think that's kind of a disclaimer that keeps kids from looking into St. John Fisher, but it's really something that, is just a myth. So I think that kind of is, I'm sorry?
Can I ask a question?
Of
Before a
course.
question about some of the majors, well, a general question more so.
Okay.
How flexible are you guys with kids changing majors?
Very flexible. So I think that's also one of the benefits of being a liberal arts school and having the liberal arts core requirements. So most students will take a few liberal arts classes each semester at Fisher. So if they do decide that they want to change majors, a lot of times, they'll have those liberal arts classes out of the way already, so then it really makes it easy to switch between majors. I think the national average is that students will change majors 2 to 3 times throughout the course of their high school or their college career. So it really is, easy to switch from different majors because you have those core classes, those liberal arts classes that, maybe you were an accounting major, but you took a science class to satisfy a core requirement. So then you decided to switch to a science major. Well, that accounting class probably counted for a different core requirement. So it makes it very easy to switch among them.
Okay.
Great, that's a good question though. In terms of campus life, we do have 3 different residence halls on campus that our freshmen are housed in. 2 of those are suite style, so you have 2 rooms that are connected by a bathroom. And then the third is just kind of your average standalone rooms with a community bathroom. So those are the 3 different residence halls where freshmen can be placed. And then we do guarantee housing for 3 out of the 4 years. However, we have never in the history of the college had to turn a student away for the 4th year. We do have some really great facilities on campus and really fantastic residence halls. So I actually graduated from the college and I lived on campus all 4 years, and I'm definitely very, very glad that I did that. One thing I will mention also with living on campus is that you get to eat in the dining hall a lot, which is a big bonus. Our food is fantastic, which I'm sure you probably don't hear from very many colleges. But niche.com actually ranked us number 9 in New York State for the best college food. So I really encourage you to come to campus and visit and try the food because it's amazing. Sports-wise, we're Division III, so we have quite a few different sports that students can get involved in. Football is a really big one for us. Our football team usually does a really great job, and they're usually, top of the division. So that's, I think, a big draw for students who are football players, and also for students who, might not be too big into athletics, just because it's a lot of fun to go and follow a team that does really well. And since we are Division III, it's a student athlete that participates in our athletics program. So the coaches understand that the student piece comes first. So if you have class and practice at the same time, you go to class, there's no question. And all of the professors are also very understanding where if you do have a game, you might miss class. But as long as you're on top of your work and you follow up with the professor, then it's not an issue at all. Trying to think what else. Clubs and organizations, we also have a lot of opportunities for students to get involved in those. So there are 75 plus programs on campus. We have our Colleges Against Cancer that they plan a walk once a year. We have our Teddy Dance for Love committee that plans our 24-hour dance marathon, and that raises money for Camp Good Days and special times. We do also have clubs that are related to every single major. So there's a biology club, there's a math club. We also have your clubs like dance team and cheerleading and things like that. So there's really a lot of opportunities to get involved on campus, whether it be through sports or whether it be through clubs. And then, I'm trying to think what else I haven't mentioned. Anything else about the campus that you have questions on, and then I can kind of go into the admissions requirements.
Do you have any Greek life?
We do not have Greek
Okay.
life, no. We don't think that we need it because we do have such a close-knit community, and so many of our students are involved in clubs in some way or another. So it's really not something that we feel that we need on campus because students feel like they're a part of something.
Right. What's it like for students on the weekend? What's life like there at St. John Fisher on the weekend?
So there are a lot of things going on the weekend all the time. On campus, clubs have events all the time. So whether it be the Teddy Dance for Love, like I mentioned, just kind of random weekends. You know, you'll have movie nights. You'll have our student activities board that is in charge of bringing different events to campus. So we've had magicians come, they've had hypnotists before, they've brought a contortionist to campus before, comedians, speakers. So there's always a lot of things going on campus. But we do also offer students the chance to go off campus if they would like as well. So we have a campus shuttle that will take students to the mall, which is about 15 minutes away. They can also go to Pittsburgh Plaza, which is about 5 minutes away, and that has quite a few different restaurants. There's a Barnes & Noble, there's a movie theater, there's a Wegmans, which is our super fantastic grocery store. And I know everyone always looks at me like I'm crazy when I say how amazing our grocery store is, but it's really something special.
I know Wegmans.
Yay!
See, that's why you're supposed to be at
it's
this
like
one.
a Whole Foods.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone who experiences it definitely loves it. So we offer students the chance to get off campus and go to those areas if they would like. We do also have a city bus stop, or 3 city bus stops actually on campus, so students can ride the city bus for free, and that will take them to the mall as well as downtown to the Park Ave area, which is where there's a lot of cute restaurants and shops, and a lot of college students tend to live down there. So we actually have, I think there's 5 different colleges in the area, so that's really an area where a lot of the college students tend to congregate. So you can get to know people, you know, that maybe they don't go to Fisher, but they go to a different college in the Rochester area. Any other questions about anything related to campus?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I will talk about admissions requirements then. So for us, we are rolling admissions, so that means there's no deadline. We are on the common application, so it makes it a little bit easier for students there, and there is no fee to apply also. So we're trying to help you guys in that respect. In terms of an application, there are 5 pieces that are needed to have a complete application. The first one is the application itself. So again, I would recommend doing the common application just because it saves a lot of time and energy. We also need your high school transcript, so that's something that your counselor will send over for you. And for that, obviously, we're looking for good grades, but also, you know, we're looking to see have you challenged yourself by taking honors classes or AP classes, or maybe you had a rough sophomore year and your grades weren't that you know what you would hope they would be, but then were you improving the next 2 years? So that's something that we look at in terms of the high school transcript. We do also ask that you send over your SAT or ACT scores. As of right now anyway, but the average SAT for us is about 1,000, which I know will change with the new SAT, and the average ACT score is a 22. Again, that is an average, so we have students that are both above and below that, but we do need to have at least one of those test scores sent over to us, and we do super score also. So say you've taken the test multiple times, and you scored better in one section the first time and better in another section the second time, we'll take your best score no matter which test it's from. We do also require you to send in a personal statement. So that is, if you're filling out the common application, any of those essay questions will apply, and you don't need to fill out anything extra. So really the whole point behind the personal statement is so that we see you're able to easily communicate your ideas, you have good grammar, you have good capitalization, punctuation, spelling. So my biggest recommendation for students here is to make sure that you proofread. I can't say how many times I've read an essay and I wasn't capitalized when talking about yourself. So, use your resources, have your English teacher read over it, have your counselor or your parents read over it. Just so then, that really, you want that to be treated as if it were an assignment in school. And then the last piece that we require for the application is at least one letter of recommendation from a teacher or a counselor. You can have more than that, so we do have several, most students I think will submit more than one, but as long as you have one, then that's all that you need there. So in terms of the application, I mentioned the average SAT and ACT score, but in terms of the average GPA, for us it's about an 85. So B or B plus average, but again, that is the average, so we do have students both above and below that. We do have several different scholarships also, so I know the financial piece is very important when it comes to attending college. The total cost for us right now is about $42,000, so that includes tuition as well as room and board. So tuition is about $30,000, and then room and board is a little over $11,000. So all said and done, about $42,000. But 100% of our students receive some kind of financial aid. So whether that be in the form of scholarships, grants, loans, work study, we do offer every student something. So I did want to touch on all those different scholarships that we do offer to get that cost down. The most popular and the award that we give out the most would be our merit scholarships. So merit scholarships you are automatically considered for when you apply to the college, and typically the merit scholarships start to kick in around a 90 average, about an 1100 on the SAT, or a 24 on the ACT. And the merit scholarships there's 3 different levels. So the first is an $11,000 a year award. The second is $13,000 a year, and that third and top tier is $14,000 a year. So even, just applying to the school, we will check and see if you are eligible to receive those awards. If you are in either of the top 2 tiers of the merit scholarship, so if you receive either the $13,000 a year award or the $14,000 a year award, you are then eligible to apply for our honors and our science scholars program. So students who are eligible will be invited to apply. So we typically send out a letter to those students saying, here's what you have to do in order to apply, and we will give you the deadline in that letter, so students are aware. But for both of those programs, it's an extra $3,000 a year, so it does help, every little bit helps. And then with the Science Scholars program, you do also get a free laptop, so that's a great thing to have also. And with the Science Scholars program, you do also have the chance to do one-on-one research with the faculty member. So again, that sets you apart from other students who may be applying to graduate school, and it's great to have that experience under your belt. As for the honors program, in order to be a part of that program, there's 6 classes that you have to take throughout the course of your time at Fisher. So it's really just looking at different areas of the liberal arts. For the most part, it focuses on writing and things of that nature. So those are our merit scholarships. And then we do also have 2 two big unique scholarships to Fisher. One of those is our service scholarship. So the service scholarship is 1/2 off the total cost of attendance. So that would include, half off room and board if you do choose to live on campus. And students are encouraged to apply to that. Typically, students, we're looking to have them complete around 100 to 200 hours of community service throughout high school. Excuse me. And then they would apply separately for that scholarship. So typically the application for that scholarship would include listing out all of the different service activities that you've done and then completing 2 essay questions. And the service scholarship is awarded to 24 incoming freshmen a year. In order to maintain that scholarship, you have to complete 130 hours freshman year and then 200 hours each year after that. Which I know some students say that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't, I promise. And even athletes are able to meet those requirements for the service scholarship. And because it is such a big amount, we definitely encourage all students to apply if they're somewhere in that ballpark. So that's our first big scholarship. Our second big scholarship is the First Generation Scholarship. So that one is again a separate application that you have to fill out. And it is awarded to 24 incoming freshmen as well. And this one is need-based, so it would depend on that FAFSA form that you're filling out. But the amount for that will range anywhere from $5,000 to, again, 1/2 off the total cost of attendance. So that's another big one. In order to be eligible for this scholarship, neither parent can have graduated from a 2 or 4-year college. So if you think, again, that applies to you, definitely apply. And in order to maintain this scholarship, there is a small number of community service hours that you have to do, which is about 60 hours a year. But again, it's nowhere near the same amount as it would be for the service scholarship. And then, sorry, another question?
No. Yeah, we had you on mute because our microphone, we hear all this like extra noise. So I was like, can you unmute it so I can ask the question? Can a student get the merit scholarship and then the service or first generation as well?
No. So for us, you can combine a bigger scholarship and a smaller scholarship, but you can't combine 2 big ones.
Okay.
So for example, if a student were to receive, say, our trustees scholarship, which is the $14,000 a year merit award, and they were to receive the service scholarship, then they would just have to choose which one they would elect to receive.
Okay.
However, if a student were to receive that $14,000 a year scholarship and receive the honors program, then those two can be combined.
Okay.
So you can combine a big and a small, but not too big.
Okay.
So that's a good question. And then the last scholarship that we do have, which I'll mention also, is our foreign language scholarship. So if a student has taken multiple years of a language, so specifically French and Spanish, those are the 2 main ones that we're looking for, then they can apply to this foreign language scholarship as well. And that is also an extra $3,000 a year if you do receive that award. So we do offer students a lot of different opportunities to get that cost down so that Fisher can be very affordable.
And the foreign language, that would just be you guys looking at a child's transcript and seeing how much they have in terms of foreign language?
So it is something that they have to apply for.
Okay.
So they would complete an application form, and it would include the different language courses that they've taken, as well as the highest level that they've reached.
Okay.
And then they do also have to have 2 letters of recommendation, so one from any teacher, and then the other from a specific teacher of that language.
Okay.
And then in terms of the application process after that, if a student is selected as a finalist, they will have to come and interview in that language. So I think that's something that kind of scares students away because it is, a bit daunting to have to do a whole interview in a language. But it's really a great opportunity, especially if they're thinking of doing international business or majoring in one of the languages.
Okay.
We are very fortunate here that we have a dual language program, and we have some students who have been taking Spanish since kindergarten.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
And we were just awarded recognition as an international Spanish academy for our
Okay.
dual language program. So those students take 25% of their core subjects in Spanish, that is actually instructed in Spanish throughout high school. So anybody,
Yeah,
any of
so,
our
I mean,
students in
if
that
they're
program,
that
yes.
into language there, then that would definitely be something that, they should look into applying for.
And they are pretty much bilingual, so the interview wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, so that would be perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think that's pretty much everything for the most part. Again, if anyone has any questions, they can definitely give me a call, send me an email, and I would be happy to help out. I can't think of anything else unless you guys have anything else that you wanted to ask.
No, I think you did a great job covering it.
Yeah.
Perfect,
So thank you so much. Thank you for participating and in a very informative session.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay, thanks so
So,
much, Vicki.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.